So, good evening. Thank you for joining me here today. For the sake of this interview, I will address you as John Smith.
Sounds good.
And during any part of the interview where you feel uncomfortable, you are not obligated to answer that question.
Sounds fair.
Okay. So, Mr. Smith, run me down what your day looks like.
Yeah, so my day, I usually start with waking up in the morning, doing my morning routine, brushing my teeth, showering, getting ready for work. I'll go to work, then I'll come home, do some grocery shopping, cook dinner. If I have time, do some photography to wind down, and go to sleep and wake up the next day and do it all over again.
Okay, so what's it like, your job? What do you do?
Yeah, so right now I teach third graders. I graduated last year with my school counseling credential from USC.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. That job market right now is really competitive though. So, still in the education field, teaching third graders, and it has been an experience.
Would you say it's been more of a joyful experience, or is there some stress behind teaching those third graders?
I'm right there on the middle of the teeter-totter, I have days where it's stressful than others, but I have more moments that are just really joyful. Seeing these kids grow from when I first got them and, molding their brain to think in a different way. It's really rewarding.
Okay. Good. So tell me, what are your hobbies and what are your passions in life?
So hobbies, photography, as I mentioned, I love photography. It kind of just, mellows out the soul. I like to capture moments, really. I grew up playing baseball, and I did that for about 24 years. So baseball is a huge passion of mine, whether I watch it, play it. When I work out, I still do the same baseball routines I was doing in high school and college.
Oh, wow.
So it's become a part of who I am, really.
Yeah.
And then also, I love teaching. I love teaching. I love education. I love, giving to the community, basically. So, just molding brains, allowing people to think differently, shedding some light when they come to me with some social, emotional problems. It's a big thing for me.
Oh, I see. So let's run through some things that are important to you.
Okay. What I find important to me is family. My family's probably the most important thing in my life right now. Without them, I don't think I'd be who I am today. I don't think I'd be where I am today. Huge family person. My brothers and I have grown up and we've become best friends since birth, really. My parents, it's hard for me to relate to somebody that doesn't have a strong relationship with their parents, just because my relationship with my family and my parents it's just really strong. So I couldn't imagine not having that. What else is important is just life in general. I like to think that I try to better myself each day. It's been hard to do so, especially with the pandemic.
Yes.
But you always find the small victories and you make them count.
So what are those small victories for you?
Well, during the pandemic, you really couldn't do much. So waking up, brushing teeth, putting on clothes that are not, pajamas.
Yes.
Getting out, getting some fresh air, going for a walk or a run. I did some traveling last year
Oh, wow.
within the state, and I did some photography. And like I said, photography, baseball, those are the small victories for me. Talking with friends, hanging out with family. A lot of people would consider those big victories, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I consider them small victories just because it's a daily thing for me.
I see. So what are your relationships like?
So to capitalize on it a little bit more, my relationship with my parents are great. My brothers and I, the two brothers that I have, we're best friends, So like I think I touched on that. My friends mean the world to me. I do have a handful of friends that I consider family. I've also cut out I've also cut out some people I thought were friends, but I had to take care of my mental well-being. And nothing against them at all. I wish them the best of luck, but sometimes you just have to cut the negativity out of your life. And you gotta, not so much losses, but when you realize people aren't supporting you or bringing that positive influence to your life, maybe it's time to split and take different roads at that point.
So could you further elaborate on that negativity and how it kind of affected your life?
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of my old friends like to come to me with their problems, like to use me as a counselor kind of talk,
Yes.
So when they would come to me with my problem or with their problems, always be there for them. But if I needed something or if I went to them with their problems, it wasn't reciprocated, or if, we wanted to get together, it was always on their terms.
I see.
So just trying to cut out that negativity, trying to cut out some of that selfishness within the other people, per se. It's helped me realize that I'm no longer carrying around their weight.
I see. Wow.
So it's definitely helped me grow as a person. It's been a lot better on my mentality, and overall it's just been a lot happier.
That's good. Would you say it was due to lack of communication, lack of commitment? Do you think you could pinpoint the downfall that that made it become toxic for you?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it was communication so much. A lot of them communicated for the most part really well, whether they were lying or telling the truth. That's not what I was going off of. It's just like, okay, like, you're communicating and I respect that. The problems that I had was the reciprocation. And that's where a lot of people get confused. So many people are built up on communicating is a way to build strong relationships, when I don't believe in that. Yes, it's half correct, but the other part that needs to be, how to just the same height of a standard,
Yes.
is that reciprocation. So if you're not reciprocating what I'm putting out to you, and you always want to turn your back, on me, or not be there for me, or like kind of turn me away when I kind of need someone, it's just not gonna fly with me.
Yeah. Understandable. So, Mr. Smith, what does life mean to you?
Life means a lot now. If you asked me that question about 3 years ago, I wouldn't have answered it the same way.
I see.
But growing and molding into a better person each day, like I had mentioned, try to become better every single day. You kind of just see it's kind of just like an unraveling box full of mystery every single day. And they say every day is a gift. And you can say that's cliche, but it's actually probably one of the most believable things that I believe in. And you always find a positive throughout each day. You can say you're having a terrible day, but you capitalize on that one positive, and that becomes who you are. The negatives, if you don't learn from them,
Yes.
you're just wasting a day. If you learn from those negatives, those hard times, you're also growing.
Very true.
So, as I'd mentioned, you asked me that question 3 years ago, I was not growing. I was not using those negatives to my advantage. I was not capitalizing on positives throughout my day. I was just spinning my circles, or spinning my wheels.
So would you say it was kind of like an empty routine that you were partaking in?
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't like where I was at 3 years ago. I didn't really have a steady job. Before that, thought my life had come to an end. I was getting older. I was no longer playing baseball, which was my passion, which was my dream. And I fell out of a 10-year-long relationship that meant the world to me. And like, it just seemed like the whole world was crumbling in on me at once, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to move forward.
Okay. I see. So, what helped you move forward?
Like I said, my family,
Yeah.
they're my main motivators to kind of get on me, kind of push me back out there in that world, help me find my confidence, take me out and show me that, life isn't all that bad. Kind of just remind me of the good times.
How's your confidence right now?
My confidence hasn't been this great since I was playing baseball, since I hadn't been in college. So like, it's coming back to me. I'm feeling really good about myself. I'm happy. I have a great job. I have great friends. I'm just in a happy headspace.
That's good. That's good. So it's good to hear that you're happy, and I feel that happiness also propels you towards your goals. What are your goals in life?
Yeah, absolutely. So my goals in life, one, chasing that dream job as a counselor.
Okay.
I want to be a school counselor. Right now I'm a third grade teacher, but I want to work with everybody in the education system. Eventually I want to go back to school to get my clinical license so I can work in a clinic and become, a mental health counselor and work with, a variety of people with all kinds of,
Yes.
problems and, just kind of help them through the day. So that would be goal number one. Goal number two would probably be move to the East Coast.
Nice.
A lot of people disagree with me, but that's okay.
What is it about the East Coast that is drawing you towards that region?
All four seasons, to be honest. Where we live out in California, we get summer and extreme summer. So, living on that East Coast, sure, I'm going to get the cold, the snow, where I have to wake up super early, start the car, and dust off the car. Probably keep my water running through the night so the pipes don't freeze. But, it's just, I'm a nature person. So when I see all four seasons, and I can capture that through a camera or go hiking or enjoy like staying inside because it's so cold, that means the world to me. I like to experience all four seasons rather than just desert heat all the time. I mean, granted, we do have the ocean, we do have the mountains, which are beautiful, but I don't think anything beats the four seasons.
That's very true. That's very true. Can you elaborate on the importance of self-care? I know that you've been nailing a lot of points about how photography and all your other hobbies and passions in life kind of fuel that self-care.
Yeah, so I mean, self-care is really important. A lot of people don't understand how important self-care is. We work our tails to the bone to better ourselves or to chase bigger dollar signs. And in doing so, we're putting so many hours into whether it's school, whether it's into work, and it's all for these major corporations or for other people. But while doing so, we're not taking care of ourselves. We're forgetting what the meaning is by living life. So we even if it's 15 minutes a day, you want to do something you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, something to take your mind off of all the stress. And it's no longer, I have to do this. It's more, I want to do this for myself. So that way I can go back to work, I can go back to my family, my relationships, and be that happy person instead of being stressed out, miserable, and taking that negativity onto somebody else.
So, Mr. Smith, at the beginning of this interview, I mentioned that if there was any question that I asked and it makes you uncomfortable, you're in no way to answer it. What is your fear in life?
Yeah, so my fear is basically just not living life to the fullest potential possible, really. We talked about getting better every single day. finding the small victories, and that's huge to me. If you're not living life to get better every single day, then we're just spinning our wheels, and when you're spinning your wheels for so long in the same place, you become a little happy. And I believe that because that's who I was.
I see. So, if there's one thing in your life that you could change, what would it be?
To not be afraid. Not be afraid, and to go, I guess, to go chase the bigger picture. I wouldn't say so much I'm spinning my wheels right now. I just say I'm kind of stuck. I know where I need to be, where I want to be, and I feel like I'm doing the right things to get there. But sometimes life pushes you down. Whether it's rejection letters for career opportunities, whether it's your boss telling you no, you can't get this raise for whatever reason, and that kind of lowers your self-confidence, self-esteem a little bit. But like I said, right now I am afraid of taking the next leap into life. Mm-hmm. Because I find myself kind of being content. Mm-hmm. And not really working forward, but just doing enough each day to say, hey, I did it today and I'm good. And that's kind of where I'm stuck at right now. I know I can do more to find that career, but I'm really not giving it 100%.
So, Mr. Smith, what do you think that first step is that will take you to where you want to be?
The first step would definitely be putting out more applications to be a counselor, and looking into programs to get my clinical license as well. And probably doing some more research on where exactly I want to live on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. And if their school system or the clinical systems have different requirements than out here in California.
I see. Well, Mr. Smith, I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to sit down and listen to these questions and answering them.
Yes, anytime. Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you very much.